What's good, fam? It is Sunday, fun day. If you have not been to Houston, Texas, and experienced Sunday Fun Day, you have got to come down and check it out. It it it's an event. Imagine having brunch and fine dining, and you have a DJ, and you just vibing, eating good food. Y'all, come check us out if you haven't been. And if you are going to be on your way, come on, hit me up, let me know you are in town. Houston, we have love for you. How was everybody's last week? I hope it was productive, blessed. Mine was very busy. The kids got me ripping and running. It was a week. Let's just say that. And my patience had been tested a lot. And there was a lot going on politically in the news. I'm not gonna get into that, but anyway, let me know, where are y'all watching from today? If it's replay, hit replay. I want to know, where y'all at. Y'all having a Sunday fun day? You keeping it chill? You got your tea, your coffee, maybe your wine, your mimosa. Let me know what is going on with you today. Well, let me just do what I need to be doing, and that's introducing myself. If you are new to the platform, welcome to Relationship Realities Podcast, hosted by your girl, Texas Brown Sugar. Here we just let it all loose. We talk everything relationships. I share some of my experiences, some of my wisdom, some of my downfalls with you all, hoping that you take what I have learned, in some cases, what I didn't learn, so we can set you guys up for success. Here for the wins. But let's get into it. Today, we got a couple of topics. But this first topic, I'm I'm pleasant. I shouldn't say pleasantly. I'm surprised by this. So let me give you the basics. Devin Haney, he is a boxer, a younger guy. He is suing his ex-fiancé, and you will never guess what he's suing her for. He's suing his ex-fiancee to get back luxury items and cash. Yeah, luxury items and cash. Devin claims that the ex-fiancee is keeping Hermès bags, luxury watches, jewelry, and large sums of money. He also is accusing her of ending their relationship. And under the California law, this was new to me, y'all. Under the California law, because she ended it, he believes that she's required to return the gifts. In addition to that, Devin said that there were some unrelated allegations of her assaulting two women. Now, I can only guess, and I'm sure y'all can guess too, that this assault of the two women are probably some women that he is dating or seeing or in a situationship with. Because why else would she assault these women? Why? What this has to do with the lawsuit, I don't know. But maybe this is showing her true colors, showing her character. But I thought it was real interesting. Let's take a look.
Devin Haney has sued his ex-fiancé over $350,000 in gifts, which she is allegedly not returning after their relationship has come to an end. Haney and Lena Syed share a daughter named Chrome, and he is said to have gifted the mother of his child pricey items such as a Hermès bag,
Real talk, she is a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman.
Mars Piguet watch, a Chrome Hearts handbag, diamond jewelry, and much more while they were together. Haney claims to have suffered more than $500,000 in damages in total. However,
Dang, $500,000 is what he's claiming. How much he worth? Yeah, chat in the chat. If y'all know, let me know how much is Devin Haney worth. He's suing this young lady. It sounds like for $500,000 in gifts. How much is this young man worth?
according to the LA County lawsuit, Syed is refusing to turn in the items. It is also alleged Haney gave her large sums of money during their relationship. And since it is Syed who allegedly ended the relationship, under California law, she is required to give the items back, Haney's lawyers wrote in the lawsuit. According to the lawsuit, Haney has also accused Syed of assaulting 2 different women, leaving them both requiring stitches, which Haney claims to have paid for. The Daily
Wait a minute. She is throwing them things and made the girls get stitches? Fam. You know, sometimes you have to laugh so you don't cry. Cause this, y'all, this got red flags all over it. Red flags all over this story.
Mail has reached out to both Haney and Syed's lawyers for comment.
Of course, they're not gonna comment. Y'all. I can't make this thing. Now, fam, in the comments, when a relationship ends, are the gifts you gave part of the breakup package? Or are they supposed to stay with the person regardless? Let me know your thoughts. I am surprised that this young man is so upset about the breakup that he is now requesting all of the luxury items that he gifted this young woman. And that's the key word, gifted. We can't be Indian givers, and that's probably a a bad term, but for those of you who may not be aware of what that means, is giving something to someone and then asking for it back. It's no longer a gift then. To me, now that's considered like you let me borrow some of your stuff. And then to me, it's no longer considered a gift. And quite honestly, I'm interested. If he wins this lawsuit and gets these items back, what is he going to do with them? Is he going to keep them in his home and let them sit there as items that are reminiscent of her? Like, I think at one point you need to learn, you got to move on. Yes, I'm sure he probably wasn't happy with how things went down. From my understanding, it it was it was some fidelity issues going on. I don't know. It that's not my business. But I think we need to take this and this I like to do case studies. Take this, and what what would I gain from taking the gifts back from the woman at one point who was the love of my life, the person who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And now I want her to give everything back. If a relationship ends on bad terms, should we, as the gift giver, have the right to ask them for them back? It sounds like the state of California says yes. And let's flip the script. If this was a woman who had gifted items similar, would the court or social media or the culture be understanding? Like, and then what is the difference between a gift that you give just because? Like, just because I love you, just because you are the mother of my child. And then I'm wondering if for him to get and take this to court and sue, do you consider those gifts as investments that are made during the relationship? Like, honestly, y'all, what is he gonna do with this Hermes bag? He gonna sell it? Give it away to his new chick? Ooh, that would be bad taste. I mean, I don't care who ends the relationship. There are some you just got to move on. And I wholeheartedly believe that when you keep items from a previous relationship, that all that's doing is it's bringing up old memories that you can't move on because you're going to constantly be reminded of what this person said, did, or what is associated with that gift. Maybe that gift you gave celebrating your 1 year anniversary. Yeah, we got to get to a point where we have to learn how to move on in relationships. And I don't think you can really truly move on when you are in the middle of a lawsuit, in the middle of suing the mother of your child. What kind of, and I don't know how old the little girl is, but can you imagine the type of toxicity that this child may, and I'm not saying yes, but may be involved with? I think it just I think we just have to learn how to just let go and move on because apparently things things ended for a reason. And it's good that you ended it before you all got married, before you all signed on that dotted line. And I'm sure there were red flags all over the place. In the chat, if your ex asked for gifts back, what is the first thing you are not returning? What's the first thing you are not returning? I have to be honest. I don't think have I been in I there was one relationship. A gentleman gave me a necklace and he asked for the necklace back. And I gave it back. I did not want that item to be a reminder of the relationship that we had. It it didn't end on bad terms, but I was ready to move on. And I don't think I could have moved on if I'm constantly wearing gifts from an old situation. And then I wonder, is this situation giving closure or control? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe him suing is just a way for him to say, I'm setting an example. I don't like what you did. And because of this, this is the consequence. These are the consequences. Maybe he's trying to set an example. I don't know what his motives were. I don't want to try and speculate, although I just did. But with this situation, I think it's just you just throwing yourself back in the fire. Like, you jumped out when you all ended the relationship. Yes, you have a child, but now you jumping yourself back in because now you have to show up and see this young lady. Now you have to converse with her or through her lawyers. So it was just it was a bad situation for me. I mean, are we being materialistic, or are we just standing on what you was given, standing on business, as the young folks say? And I mean, again, are men held to a different standard than women in these situations? To me, as a man, I would not expect this from a man. I just wouldn't. I would expect the man to just go and move on. But I guess not. I mean, if this is really truly real love, and if God is in your heart, I don't think I don't think you can invoice your love. That's what it sounds like. You are invoicing this young lady after it ends. Am- Is it fair or foul to ask for the gifts back? Let me know in the chat. It's it's not for me. I yeah. I would never ask for the gifts back. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. And maybe because they're luxury gifts. Maybe he's in a financial situation. He needs them back. I- but this being a California law doesn't surprise me. California has some very different laws in that state. Ladies, what would you do if a man asked you to return the Birkin? Fellas, are you suing, or are you gonna go ahead and move on? Uh, Whether you are a team, you give it back, or team, it's mine. Either or, team give back or team, it's mine. We have to remember the heart you gave might have been temporary. The heart he gave to this young lady, I'm sure he probably loved her. And maybe it was temporary. But what I think we need to remember is about the character that you are leaving behind. What kind of stand-up guy, what type of stand-up girl are you leaving behind in these relationships? because that's what's permanent, not the Birkin bag, not the watch, not the cash. And most importantly, as I always say, let's protect our peace. Let's protect our peace and our pockets. Okay. And you can protect your pockets by knowing what these red flags look like. And yes, I'm going to plug my red flags, green flags, free checklist. Check out in the description, free 99. Go to my website and download the green red flag checklist so that you know what's worth keeping, which is your character, your peace, and what's best left behind. The Birkin bag, the Hermès belt, the Gucci watch. Link in the description. All right, move on to our next topic. Y'all, this was whew. I don't know why social media surprises me every time I open up. I don't open it up that much. But when I do, they still surprise me. Growing up in a small city where, a lot of people knew your name, I was shielded from a lot. I get that. But some of this stuff, I wasn't ready for. If you have not heard, it has been all over social media. Everyone is reacting to it. But Cardi B, if you're not familiar with her, she is a rap artist, revealed she's pregnant by her boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. She made the announcement on Good Morning America with Gayle King. Gayle be getting all the stories. First her, Kale's, now her. Mama Bear said, "Hey, what's good, Mama Bear? Thank you for joining us this evening. Hope you are having a wonderful laid back Sunday." But let's take a look at the announcement. This is interesting, y'all.
Baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel very strong. I feel very powerful that I'm doing all this work, but I'm doing all this work while I'm creating a baby. Me and my man were very supportive of each other.
There you have it. She announced on national TV she's pregnant by her boyfriend. She says her boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. She is still legally married to Offset, but they both have stated they are separated. Yeah. That's a scratch. Yeah. She's still legally married. Yo, I thought she I thought the divorce was finalized. I real talk, I did. Cause they both moving and shaking like the divorce was final. I just assumed it was. But apparently not. They are still legally married. And in her words, she says she's excited, she's happy, she says she's in a good space. She says she's strong, she's powerful. And if you haven't seen, she's doing a lot of work, a lot of promo for her recently released album. And I mean, she's doing a lot of work. She's pubbing this heavy. And she's saying her and her man, they are very supportive of each other. There's also Mama Bear said, I have nothing nice to say. And what do we say? What our mothers taught us? If you don't have nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. Yeah. Y'all, that has that's power right there. Like, really, we need to watch our tongues because we can say a lot of harmful things. And the Bible clearly says that there's power in the tongue. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Mama Bear. I want to look at this from a case study standpoint because, again, you got to laugh so you don't cry. This is 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 wild to me. So here's the question, fam. When you're separated but not divorced, separated but you're not divorced, the state in which you got married still considers you married. Is it fair game to start a whole new family? You say you've moved on, he says he's moved on, but legally, you all have not moved on for whatever reason. Is it fair to start a new family? Mama Bear says flat out, I have no patience for cheating. And I wonder, is all of this going on because there's hurt involved? So I'm going to do to you what you did to me? Are you are you still married in the heart if you are legally divorced? If you are not legally divorced, are you still married in the heart? Cuz they say divorce is like someone dying in your family because you have invested in so much, you've cared and loved for this person so much, and then all of a sudden they're no longer a part of your everyday life. And because they haven't had the legal aspect of it, if you haven't had the legal aspect of it, can you really truly move on? Not only physically, but move on, in your heart, move on spiritually, move on financially, move on with your soul. Can't, because you haven't signed off on that paper. And I'm being this is real talk, y'all, and this is, I have nothing against people and how they choose to live their life. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. That is for God. Although there are certain things that God allows us to judge, and there's technically two different what we call judgments. And so, as a sister in Christ, I have to ask. She says she feels powerful, but are we glorifying freedom or foolishness? Real talk. And I know a lot of y'all like, why would somebody glorify that? Let, let's take a look, because This real. This, let's blow it up a little bit. Um, this is from IG, and it's a picture of Cardi and Stefon. Stefon is has his hands on her belly, indicating, of course, that that's his child. And we see that a lot of people are saying, "Congrats." They're the only ones that got to take care of the little baby. That baby is going to be beautiful. Someone said, "You don't need to leave every relationship with a souvenir." I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And someone's like, "A ring is next. Let's speak positive things over sis and bro." I get it. I'll get you on nothing but the best for people. But how can you move on to a ring and happiness, and you haven't even managed or released yourself from your previous marriage? What message does this send about commitment and about closure? That was my whole thing. What are we telling people, that we don't have to and I can't even remember the daggone word, but there was some trendy Gen Z dating trends where you don't close one relationship and you move on to the next. It was something like monkey hopping or something. I hate that word, monkey. And it's like you swinging on the vines from one relationship to the next and not closing the last one. So now everybody thinks it's okay for us to move from one relationship to the next without the closing the last one. That it's okay for us to move from one relationship to the next because you're not committed. Did we just throw all of that away? Mama Bear says, "You aren't moved on if you haven't moved out." Ooh. She goes on to say, "How do you explain that to the kids?" That's a good point. My thoughts exactly. Can you imagine the toxicity that's in that household when they dropping the kids off with each other, with Offset and Cardi? You as a person, you are pregnant with someone else's child, and your husband, because he's legally your husband, is coming to the house to pick up the kids. And he's reminded by your baby bump that you are about to have a kid with somebody else who you're not married to. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, I shouldn't say she, but people, oh, they're living in their truth. What truth? Have we lost all marbles? What, the truth ain't the truth no more. Like we are truly skipping important healing steps. You cannot heal from that long-term relationship because you done already jumped in head first. I didn't mean that. Jumped into the very next relationship. Mama Bear says mommy and daddy are still married, but your new sibling will have a different daddy. Real talk. Yo, can you imagine what the poor kids got to deal with? that's so bold, y'all. And then the boyfriend is dealing with some other issues of his own with previous relationships, where his mother of his most recently born child is suing him. Ladies, for real, in the talk, and again, no judgment. Would you get pregnant by someone new before the ink is dry on your divorce papers? Fellas, because I have a few of y'all out there. Fellas, let me know. Would you feel some type of way if your wife, separated or not, is publicly having a baby by another man? How would that make you feel? People, we are so living in our truths that the truth of commitment, the truth of closure is no longer. Like there's no closure. Oh, my closure is moving on. No, you cannot heal. And healing is part of the closure process. You haven't sat down to evaluate the situation. What did I do good? What did I do that could have used some improvement? Because y'all know we are not perfect. We're not. There's always something that we can do to improve ourselves as a person and improve ourselves to be a better partner. Mama Bear said, I'm going on 10 years single. So that's no for me. I'm not mad at you. It's hard out here in these streets. I this is a problem. I'm so concerned, y'all. Like this is acceptable. People are clapping. When did we get to a point where we feel like we can't be truthful with her because she is in the public eye and be like, ma'am, that's not right. We don't have to yell, be angered, but we got to tell her, sis, that's not the way to go. That's not what God wants for you. And I mean, the closure portion, we got to dig deeper emotionally and spiritually. Some of us are physically separated, but we are still in a spiritual entanglement. Yes, a spiritual entanglement. Because she's still legally married to this man. Does a new baby signify healing? To me, it's an emotional distraction. And I I wonder how this will affect the child born into this situation, born into the public eye, where everyone knows the situation. Fellas, ladies, just because we have moved on physically doesn't mean we've closed the chapter emotionally, spiritually. Let me say that again. Just because we moved on physically does not mean we fully closed the chapter emotionally or spiritually. Take this time and really truly evaluate, is this young lady living in power? In her power, as she said? Or is she trying to rush her peace? Would you date somebody who was still married, even if they were separated? I know that a lot of people don't see an issue with that. They will date you if you're separated. Legally, you're still married. I, for me, I believe you truly can't be 100% in a relationship when you are still spiritually and emotionally tied to someone else. I said a few weeks ago, I don't want 50-50. I don't want 25% of you. I want all of you. And if you are emotionally and spiritually with somebody else, I don't want it. I'll wait. I'll wait. If you got game, you that one, what? I'm gonna wait. It's gonna be worth the wait. What do y'all think of this situation? Mama Bear Doll said, rushing into relationships is how your partner winds up paying for the sins of another person. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. Mm. There is always a reaction for every action, whether it's a positive or a negative. There is always going to be a reaction. And Mama Bear said it very well, that because of your action, the reaction is is going to be negative for some. Man, this heavy, y'all. I was trying to play light of this because I really thought this was a really sad situation to be in, because although there's discussions on social media that she's happy, that she's in her power, that they support each other, I truly don't believe that you could emotionally and spiritually be done. And I don't know, y'all. Maybe separation is the new single. Let me know. they got a term for everything else. Maybe separation is the new single. But at the end of the day, we all want happiness. We all want happiness. I want nothing but happiness for the two of them. But how we get there matters. I don't care if you Cardi, you Keisha, you Kim from around the way. Be mindful of what season you're in. Am I in a season of self-reflection? Am I in a season of let's get another partner? I'm ready. What season are you in? But please don't call it a fresh start if you still have old pages that you turn into the left to. You got a book, you reading it, but you still going back. How is that fresh? How is that a fresh start and you still going back? Them pages is old, torn, got some bends, then wrote a few notes, but I'm still going back. I'm still, and maybe I'm not going back 5, 6, 7 pages. Maybe I'm just going back 1 page. I'm still going back. Y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate you all. Make sure you do, let's get this house stuff out the way. Subscribe, like, share, especially share this if somebody needs to hear this. If they're going back to their old pages instead of moving forward, send them this link. I love y'all, fam. I can't wait to see y'all next week. We got some stuff planned. I truly have some stuff planned for y'all. I'm excited about the future. Hang in there with me. I'm excited about what we got planned. I can't wait to share it with y'all because I'm excited. But thank y'all for hanging out with me on a Sunday, especially with if the fellas, I know y'all got football. My husband and 49ers just got done, so he's done yelling. I will see y'all. I'll holler at y'all. Thanks. Have a wonderful, productive, blessed week.